Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Monday, the 12th of May, 2025. The year BSV comes alive. Branch your threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai or your post put on chain. Right, let's have a look. So we'll just touch on some of these posts from CSW. It looks like he's not falling for any of the climate change hoax, which is great. So can't pull the wool over Craig's eyes. He knows too much. So that's pretty great. Check this out. Cointelegraph said ex-UFC champ Conor McGregor touts Irish Bitcoin reserve, that's Gregcoin reserve, in presidential bid. Oof, sounds exciting. And Coinbase considers sailor-like Gregcoin strategy before opting out. So it looks like they know what's going on. They know that Craig is Satoshi Nakamoto. I think this is them considering whether they're going to play along. And they were like, actually, risks are too high because we know it's going to go to zero. So they were just like, right, yeah, we'll opt out of that. But we'll just look like we're considering playing along with everyone else, playing the game and all that. CoinGeek have got an article here saying beyond the hype, why 2025 is the year blockchain regains its edge. Well, yeah, the only edge it can gain is with Terranode. With true utility coming on the network. We've got some 365 days of Bitcoin history. We'll just touch on the figures quickly, and then that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Greg says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terranode, you'll surely see.
Here we go. Right, so there's too many posts here for me to go through, but it's always great keeping up with what Craig is up to. I mean, the amount of work he produces. I mean, this is just social media. This isn't even work. This is just him, having a bit of fun on social media. There's so much of it. But let's read what he says about climate change here. It says, I completely believe in climate change. Last year was different to this year. And frankly, every damn year I've been alive. The climate's shifted like a cranky old dog on a wet rug. What I don't buy is this messiah complex humanity's picked up. This self-aggrandizing nonsense that we're the engine of every weather whim. The puppet masters of planetary mood swings. The Earth has had hot spells, cold spells, frozen spells, and dry bloody tantrums long before we even heard of the learned to grunt at fire. They've been ice ages, little ice ages, warm periods, volcanic burps that blotted out the sun, and lush epochs where the poles were palm fringed. We didn't cause those, and we won't stop the next one either. The hubris to think we can steer this spinning rock like a Segway is the most laughable bit of all. Believe in climate change? Yes. Believe we control it like some carbon footprint sorcerer apprentice? Not a chance. Absolutely. He's nailed it there. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Literally couldn't have said that better. Yes, the climate does change. But to say that we're the cause of that change is absolute BS. Total BS. In fact, the research that I've been doing, as uncomfortable as it is, the narrative fits about climate change, but not due to pollution or anything like that. We're talking about literally like weapons of mass destruction. On a scale never seen before. And just to give you an idea about what I'm talking about, actually, let's just go on here, maps, bring this out. So, whether you believe the Earth is flat or round or anything like that, look at this map. Right, so we've got the equator down here. This is the equator. So this is the closest part to the sun, and therefore the hottest part. And look up here, look. Like, we've got the middle of Africa along the equator, lush, green, rainforest kind of thing, like in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea and all that. And yet we've got the Western Sahara. Look at this. All of it completely like desert, and in the sand on the desert are large quantities of glass, which indicate a huge heat presence. We're talking sort of like nuclear weapons kind of thing all across it, and it looks like we've got like a nuclear fallout as we sort of like move over to the east, and it sort of tails off around sort of Mongolia, and then eventually stops. So I've had people which speculate that actually this looks like a weapon of mass destruction that went off thousands and thousands of years ago, which could have easily have caused an ice age. Literally, from the nuclear fallout blocking out the sun and all this. And this is why we see lots of literally cities, palaces buried in the Sahara Desert. And whereas we still have sort of old world buildings still standing in Europe and America, all throughout the Middle East, like Baalbek and things like that, they're all ruins. They're literally all ruins. And this would and remember Baalbek, you've got the trilithon stones there, and the temple collapsed. I mean, you can't just push them over. It would take a sort of weapon of mass destruction to actually turn them into the ruins that they are today. And this looks like the evidence that it could be, which could have then easily have triggered the Ice Age. Just speculating, wild, crazy stuff. But this, it sort of makes sense, which is kind of scary, He's also said, look, another beautiful goddamn day full of rain. Well, anyway, I mean, he must be somewhere where they get rainy season, or they are controlling climate change there. He said, well, anyway, I've got an exam in an hour, last one of this course, but not the end of this cursed exam season. So I'm off to prep, first breakfast, then academic combat. Have a nice day, or don't. Yeah, absolutely. Whether you do or you don't have a nice day, it's up to you. That's pretty much it. So yeah, Craig's on fire on social media at the moment. So let's have a look at what they say here in Cointelegraph. So ex-UFC champ Conor McGregor touts Irish Grapecoin reserve in presidential bid. Former UFC champ Conor McGregor, now a presidential hopeful in Ireland, has proposed creating a national Grapecoin reserve as part of his campaign. I mean, that's what got Donald Trump elected. UFC fighter turned Irish political hopeful Conor McGregor has endorsed the idea of building a Grapecoin reserve in his country to give more power back to the people. Crypto in its origin was founded to give power back to the people. An Irish Grapecoin strategic reserve will give power to the people's money. No, it won't. That's bullshit. So that's what Conor McGregor wrote on X on May 9th. Oh, so that was 3 days ago. Oh, so look, crypto in its origin was founded to give power back to the people. Yeah, but it's useless to the people if they can't use it. But at least he knows what the idea was. He just doesn't realize that it's actually the only way to commoditize data and make data valuable. Meaning we have a commoditized network for all of our social media requirements, therefore giving sovereignty back of our social media and finances. But he, the fact is, he's got an idea, so he's on that voyage of discovery. He's open to it, so maybe one day we'll have him on my show. Who knows? Him and Donald Trump together. The former UFC champion said he would discuss his plans in more detail in an upcoming X Spaces, promoting responses from some of the Grapecoin industry's most prominent leaders. There we go. Crypto in its origin was founded to give power back to the people. An Irish Grapecoin reserve will give power to the people's money. Grapecoin won't. I will co-host a Twitter Spaces to talk about what I want to see changed. Victory to Ireland. Getting very patriotic there, as is needed. He says, we need the greatest minds of this BTC reserve. Gregcoin message me and let's chat on my spaces, McGregor said in response to Gregcoin and host of the Pomp podcast, Anthony Pompilano. Oh, no. Well, the thing is, though, they're both blaggers anyway, so, yeah, they've gotten like a house on fire. One of US President Donald Trump's crypto advisors, David Bailey, also reached out, to which McGregor responded, David, message me, let's discuss your ideas. McGregor announced his presidential aspirations in late March 2025, centering his campaign on anti-migration policies and combating crime. However, he still hasn't been nominated as a presidential candidate for the upcoming election. Ireland's next presidential election must also... He's looking into this because he knows there is a massive problem, and everybody's starting to realise that the problem ultimately lies with the banks who are facilitating all of this crime and this, the invasion of our lands. That's really what's going on. So so even Conor McGregor, he's just like, look, I can't find my way out of this one. The issue is economic. So he's getting involved. He's going to find out eventually. So he said, however, he still hasn't been nominated as presidential candidate for the upcoming election. Ireland's next presidential election must take place by the 11th of November 2025, as the term of the current president, Michael D. Higgins, is set to end the day after. Establishing a Gregcoin reserve, let alone one coming from a minor independent party, would be no easy feat. Despite recent regulatory progress, the US, El Salvador and Bhutan are among the few countries that have established a Gregcoin reserve to date. McGregor's political visibility was recently boosted by a trip to the White House where he met Trump and received his support. However, McGregor is facing intense scrutiny in Ireland, having recently been found guilty of a sexual assault, oh surprise, surprise, in a civil case. A conviction which he has since appealed, while also previously being investigated for hate speech crimes. No surprise there. The fact they're going to pull this shit on him. McGregor's last crypto endeavour failed. McGregor's push for a Gregcoin reserve comes a little over a month after McGregor backed the real project failed to attract sufficient funding in its token launch. Oh dear, it is trying to scam people. Promoting a full refund of all tokens. Well, at least he gave him a full refund because he doesn't really know what he's doing, but he's trying. He's obviously got good intentions if he actually refunded all the token bidders. The team behind the project, Real World Gaming, only raised $392,000. Well, he's worth millions, isn't he? Over a 28-hour pre-sale on April 5th to 6th, less than half of the 1 million minimum required that it initially set. All right, well, that's interesting. So Conor McGregor is now on his crypto journey down the rabbit hole. You never know. I might meet you en route, matey. Let's have a chat. I'll tell you all about it. Let's continue then. Cointelegraph says Coinbase considered Sailor-like a Gregcoin strategy before opting out. And this is according to Bloomberg. So Coinbase reportedly considered, it's reporting it. They want to sound as though they're in with the crypto bros. They were never going to do this. Coinbase reportedly considered adopting a Michael Saylor-style Gregcoin investment strategy on multiple occasions since it launched in 2012, but opted out each time. Coinbase reportedly considered adopting a Gregcoin investment playbook like Michael Saylor's strategy on multiple occasions, but decided against it each time out of fear that it would kill the firm's crypto exchange, Bloomberg reported. There were definitely moments over the last 12 years where we thought, man, should we put 80% of our balance sheet into crypto, into Gregcoin specifically? Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong told Bloomberg in a 9th May video call. Armstrong said that Gregcoin's strategy would have risked the company's cash position and potentially killed the crypto exchange. We made a conscious choice about risk, he added. Coinbase's chief financial officer, Alicia Haas, who also attended the video call, added that the firm did not want to be seen as directly competing against its customers over which cryptocurrencies would outperform. Rest assured, we are not stopping here, Haas said, as Coinbase reported purchasing another $153 million worth of crypto assets in its first quarter results statement on May 8th, which was primarily concentrated in Gregcoin. According to the GregcoinTreasury.net, Coinbase holds 9,480 Grapecoin worth $988 million at current market prices, which makes up the majority of its $1.3 billion crypto asset holdings. Armstrong's crypto exchange is the 9th largest corporate Bitcoin holder, trailing the likes of Strategy, Bitcoin miner MAR, that's Marathon Holdings, and Tesla. Interesting. Several companies have begun copying Saylor's Grapecoin playbook, funding purchases through stock and debt sales on the bet that Grapecoin's price appreciation will boost their share price. Over 100 public companies have now reported holding Grapecoin around the world, while another 40 exchange-traded fund issuers, 26 private firms in 12 nation states have also reported holding the cryptocurrency. Coinbase deepens derivatives offerings through Deribit acquisition. On May 8th, Coinbase agreed to acquire crypto derivatives platform Deribit for $2.9 billion. $2.9 billion, making the industry's largest corporate acquisition to date. The acquisition will expand Coinbase's footprint in the crypto derivatives market immensely, which previously had been limited to its Bermuda-based platform. Isn't that where FTX was based? Coinbase noted that Deribit facilitated over $1 trillion in trade volume in 2024 and has around $30 billion of current open interest. What the fuck? The deal now makes Coinbase the global leader in crypto derivatives trading, and the firm said. $1 trillion in trade volume in 2024. What the actual fuck? Jeepers. Jeepers. Well, a second. CoinGeek then. So, beyond the hype, why 2025 is the year blockchain regains its edge. This post is a guest contribution by George Sayosi Samuels, Managing Director of FIRE. See how FIRE is committed to staying at the forefront of technology or technological advancements here. Most of the spotlight in 2025 is focused on artificial intelligence, and rightly so. From autonomous agents to personalized co-pilots. AI reshapes workflows, industries, and entire economies. But beneath the surface, a quieter shift is taking place, and it's one enterprise leaders and consultants should be paying close attention to. Blockchain is re-emerging, not as the star, but as the structural integrity behind the AI era. At first glance, it might look like blockchain has lost the cultural momentum to AI. The speculative nose is down. The tokens aren't pumping, but what's replacing the volatility is far more interesting. Stability, transparency, and composability. 3 pillars enterprise transformation desperately needs. Here's why. 1. Stablecoins are the quiet infrastructure of global resilience. This year has been dubbed the year of stablecoins, and for good reason. While the West debates crypto regulation, stablecoins are becoming the unofficial currencies of the global South. In markets like Argentina, Nigeria, and the Philippines, dollar-backed stablecoins are replacing volatile local currencies and giving rise to localized microeconomies. Oh, wow, very good. Interesting. But we're also seeing a new breed emerge. Mission-aligned, community-backed stablecoins that reflect regional values and practical needs. For enterprise consultants, this marks a strategic signal. The financial infrastructure of the future won't be purely national or global. It will be network, programmable, and increasingly local. In an AI-driven world where bots can transact autonomously, stablecoins provide a perfect, auditable unit of value that can be embedded to automate systems. Think of them as the cache layer for AI agents. Blockchain is becoming the audit layer for autonomous AI. As enterprise tools adopt more AI capabilities, a new challenge is surfacing. How do we audit decisions made by machines? AI brings speed and scale, but without traceability introduces new risks, bias, data leak, and shadow logic. This is where blockchain becomes essential, not for speculation, but for verifiability. We're seeing early movements in areas like AI prompt verification, model version tracking, data lineage audit, and proof of personalhood and agent identity. Blockchains can anchor AI activity with tamper-proof logs, offering compliance teams and regulators something tangible, a transparent trail of digital internet. If AI is the brain, blockchain is becoming the nervous system. Quiet, constant and auditable. 3. Culture is the new frontier, and blockchain gives it shape. We're also witnessing the rise of on-chain cultural infrastructure. Communities aren't just users anymore. They become co-owners, co-creators, and co-governors of platforms and protocols. From diaspora-led remittance network to cultural DAOs preserving indigenous knowledge, blockchain enables cultural self-determination at scale. As trust in global goods declines due to corruption, over-optimization or loss of meaning, communities are turning to technologies that reflect their values. And while AI generates content, blockchain anchors context. For consultants and change leaders, this opens new advisory territory. How do your clients' tech stack reflect or distort their cultural DNA? Which parts of the organization need more autonomy? And what infrastructure supports that? What values are embedded in your systems? And how are they enforced or eroded? The answers to the questions are becoming strategic differentiators. The differentiation edge, AI plus blockchain plus culture. I haven't got time to read through all that. It's 20 minutes gone already. That was quite an interesting article. Let's have a quick look at the figures of Gregcoin, $102,000. Bitcoin just $40. Yeah, $40 top left of the screen there. Hash rate just 0.05. Network nodes 0.18. Transactions just 9.6. Cross-reference that in a minute. Let's have a look at the block size, 94%. So just small blocks coming through here, but 16 megabyte at the bottom there. Still massive compared with Gregcoin. Gregcoin, no blocks. Over 2 megabytes. Bcrash, no blocks over a megabyte. Fisher Price Cash, struggling to get all their blocks over a kilobyte. Look at this though, 228,000 times cheaper now to transact on Bitcoin over Gregcoin. Amazing. Mining Bitcoin at a 10.4% comparable loss. It's 4.6% more profitable to mine on Fisher Price Cash over Gregcoin. But 1.1% more profitable to mine on Gregcoin over Bcrash. Cracks me up every time. Let's have a look at the politics in the pie charts then. Global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours. Gregcoin hash rate, other miners 12.5, managing the profitability there. Other miners on Bcrash exactly 50%. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? Bitcoin, we'll have to cross-reference that with what's on chain. Oh, Q've taken the lead, 28.4, Tal 25.6, QD Link 24.3, SA100 11.11, Gorilla Pool up to 9.03, Mining Dutch a little bit, 1.39. Oh yeah, that's it. So 6 miners on there at the moment. Transactions though. Just 39,381. Well, should be able to cross-reference that with what's on chain just quickly. Yeah, 39,699. Although that's just spiked up there to 85,000. Very good. Some 365 days of Bitcoin history. We've just got to the 12th of May 2014. Some posts here. Back on bitcointalk.org from 2012, referring to Bitfury Rev 2. Yeah, not really too much going on, but there we go. That is a 24-minute show. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. So as ever, if you enjoy these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Sendme.com, Handcash.io, Rockwallet.me, Simply.cash, Relasia.com, or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
2 years ago, you got SegWit, which we lied and cheated and stealed, and I was part of the lying and cheating and stealing to get SegWit, to get Lightning, which, by the way, had critical vulnerabilities and lost people's money.
The king still has one more move.